specifically, I don't want for the Racing Honda Championship commentary is wonderful. I feel kind of like accidentally throw shade that way. I got shots that here. But the video side of things is very quick. And we have the lap times on the side of the screen, which is very cool. Luke Senjakovsky sets a flying lap, which is an interesting development after the morning session, where Luke, I don't think he set a flying lap. And I don't even know whether he scored his points for putting in 3 laps in warm-up, because I don't think he did 3 laps. So Luke Senjakovsky is already a lap behind on, sorry, a point behind on putting in some timed laps, which is of course important because attack 1 does score points. Most of the, in fact all of the sessions score some points here or there, but attack 1 is timed based on when you finish fast, how fast your lap time is, you are going to score points. That's very important. So we have our pro class cars on the track now. Who is that something small? Josh Barrett. That's Josh Barrett in the Caterer 620R. Pro. There's a Mick Porter there, out of the way. Ilya Krlov's machine as they come over the line to start their next flying lap. It's kind of interesting because the GTR is quite a big car, quite wide, and yet Ilya's Clio is also, he's widened it so much, it's like he's added a foot on either side. You know, the new wheel arches are monstrous, that it still looks wide next to Mick Porter's GTR. So that's quite an achievement. You can see, oh, that's a cool little gaggle of cars. Luke Senjakovsky in the Honda NSX, Ilya Krylov there, and Mick Porter in that 35 GTR. Mick Porter, of course, used to run a 32. He's been back for, I think since last year in that newer shaped car. They have good run, the old 35 GTR. Quite a long time ago. Maybe anyway, that GTR platform has been around for a while, refined and refined and refined, and there's such a big knowledge base about this car, such a healthy aftermarket. Really cool. So Mick Porter there jumping onto that. I think he sits last. Luke Senjakovsky, you're talking about K-swaps, by the way. Luke's car, that Honda NSX, also K-swaps, which is, some might say, quite controversial. Some might be even blasphemous. But there you go. Out goes V6. In comes the boosted Honda K-Series. And as a result, it's a very fast, very racy machine indeed. Darren Spooner is back in the blue Spooks Peugeot 205. For those of you who are into fast Peugeots will know of Spooks and Darren Spooner, absolute legends in the Peugeot tuning scene. Peugeot 205 last year, for many years. Darren Spooner, though, keeps the Peugeot oh my goodness, if you saw it on the cameras, we had the camera switched on at that exact moment. Car number 27, Bradley John, I think he dipped 2 wheels onto the grass as he was just making an overtake there. These cars are so wide that they they really need to find space to get past each other. These pro-class cars, you know, even Ilya's DIY, like I said, 99% of that car is built by him, including all the fabrication and composite stock. He's added what looks like a foot either side of the car. These cars are getting so wide in the pro class that they really need to find room for themselves on track. Let's just take a look there, an interesting one. Whoop. Lots of moving around under braking. Ilya Krylov's Haltech Leo and the little green Caterham of Dan Kelly. So it looked a bit hairy there, but luckily pretty skilled drivers, so all without incident coming into turn one, but they were definitely trying to scramble. Again, the speeds are now quite high in the pro class. The cars are so massive and wide that they really need to try to find space for themselves. It's quite amusing. It's like they're a victim of their own success. Because the car is so big and wide and grippy and fast that it's made their life a little bit more difficult when it comes to finding track space. But it's a good problem to have. In the pits, you have quite a few cars. You have Jimmy Broadbent's MX-5, Nick Porter's GTR, and also Eric Hose's Mitsubishi Evo 6 RS. Martin Henry comes into the pits as well. And so, this can't refuel in the pits with time. And there's only so much you can do. And also here, uniquely at Cadwell Park, where the pit lane is divorced from the paddock in the garages, you don't even have all of your spares and your tools with you in the pit lane, because you can't cross into the paddock because of how Cadwell Park is arranged. It's our favorite track because it's so hilly and wild and squeezing, but it also means that you have this funny divorce layout. But what it means is you're quite limited in terms of what you can do in the pit, because if you haven't brought all of the possible stuff you might need, if you've left that in the paddock, well then you can't do anything in the pit. But I can see lots of cars there having their tire pressures tweaked, which is again very important. Quite a few cars now, just looking out. We don't have a red flag or anything, no. Just lots of tweaking going on. And of course, a big part of that is, well actually, let's take a look at Dan Kelly's lap in the little green. Moving around a little bit, great fun. I don't envy the Caterham drivers when it's a wet day, because it looks like they're driving in a cold bathtub. They're quite soggy and miserable, and it opens the elements. But when it's a sunny day, I bet it's great. The car is moving around, and it looks great fun. Up and over the mountain, Dan Kelly goes. He's had a personal best. Sector 2, he now makes his way through all deceptively tricky sequence of corners. Go from of little S round bar and corner and down the hill. Let's take a look at what lap time Dan Kelly can do. Sector 3, 136.7, which is a personal best there for Dan Kelly. So nice little improvement there for him. Great. That is good enough for third in Club Pro. Club Pro Comics, Darren Scooter from Eric Holmes, from Dan Kelly, Richard Goodall, Donnie McLeod, Ilya Krylov, and Mick Porter. And then Pro's currently led by Colin Dord with the 127.7, which I think might be the fastest time we've seen today. I don't think we've dipped below the 130 yet, but now we have. Colin Dord leads from Luke Senjakowski, Bradley John, Josh Barrett, Andrew Barber, Martin Henry, and Jimmy Broadbent. And if we just return to the subject of, we can see Josh Barrett's in the pits. We saw him stop on track earlier on, but he seems to have got himself going, and there you go, you can see him in the pits now. Great camel work there, so thank you for that. Nice big shot there of Josh Barrett's machine. Very great